So welcome to part 2 of the volume of a pyramid. We're looking at more trickier questions in this one. We've got a pyramid here. It's a square-based pyramid, and we'll need to know Pythag's theorem as well. In order to answer the volume of a pyramid, we need the formula. So remember what the formula is. Volume is the third times the base times the perpendicular height. So that's the formula we need to remember. But the key here is a perpendicular height. And what you need to know, and you might not know, is that actually this here is called a slant height. So that's called the slant height, not the height we're looking for. Okay, the perpendicular height is the one at 90 degrees here, straight up, because a cone, a pyramid, is a third of what a cylinder would be, a cuboid rather would be. I'm getting my words muddled up today. So I need to work out what the perpendicular height is. If I've not been given that red height, but I've been given the slant height, and I've been given these dimensions, then I'm going to have to use Pythag's theorem to solve this. So let's have that question here. Let's call this, again, we'll have it a square. So it's 3 by 3. Okay, oh no, let's make this 6 by 6. We're going to change it to 6 by 6 because that way the numbers become easier for us. So I'm called a 6 base, 6 depth, and the height here, well, I don't know that height, but the slant height, now let's see if I can do this in this lovely yellow colour. This slant height here, so that slant height, let's call that slant height 10. Okay, so what you've got to be able to see here, and what's difficult, is you've got to be able to see that you've got a triangle here. So I'm going to shade out the triangle hopefully and see if this works for you. So I'm going to go straight across there, and then in a nice light colour like this one here, I'm going to try and attempt to draw out what the triangle would look like. So having a visual eye for this is quite important, but most of us are quite good visual learners. So now that is my triangle, and I'm going to draw out the triangle with these 3 colours and that fella there. So I need my red, don't I? Hopefully that's the red. Oh, this red does not want to play games. Being very naughty today with me. One more time, and then I'm going to have to give you something else. Oh, you worked. A thread. So that's the height that I'm looking for. Then I'm told the base here. Now think about what this base is going to be. If that's that distance there and it's 6 altogether, you can work out what that distance is. That's half of it because it goes right in the middle there, so that's a distance of 3. And then I've got my, what we call a hypotenuse, wouldn't we? The longest side of a right angle triangle, and that's 10. And just so that you can see it, because it's a bit hard to see the yellow, isn't it? I will shade this all in. And you can see here is my triangle. And just so that you can see that number 10, I'll just go over it again. There you go, 10. So we know the height is 10, that is 3. So the slant height is 10, that is 3. I've got to work out what that height is there. Now that's quite a challenge. To do that, I need to use Pythag's theorem. This is my right angle. So I've got my longest side, which is C. So let's put it underneath here. Okay. So C is 10. And then one of these is a shorter side. It doesn't matter if I use A or B. Let's put it as B. So it's 3 squared. And then let's call this A then. So it's A squared. A squared plus 3 squared equals 10 squared. Now I know what 3 squared is. It's 9. And I know what 10 squared is 100. So I know that A squared is going to be 91, isn't it? Because I take away 100 from that. So therefore A is the square root of 91. So I need my calculator for that. Here goes. So I'm going to say it's the square root, oopsie daisy, turn this on. It's the square root of 91, which happens to equal 9.539. Don't round up until the very end, otherwise you get rounding up errors. So that's my height. Now remember, it's a third times the base. So I've got to work out what the base is. That's relatively easy, isn't it? Because I've got 6 here and 6 there. So the volume is going to be a third times my 6 by 6, the base, times my perpendicular height, 9.539. Now I didn't clear it on my calculator, so I'm just going to go times 6 divided by 3 equals, and I get 114.473. And I'll round that to 1 sig fig, oh sorry, 1 decimal place. So that's going to be 1 decimal place. Remember, decimal places, that's the key. So it's going to be 114.5. Let's say this unit is in meters. And that's how you work out the volume of a pyramid where you don't know the perpendicular height and you have to do it by using Pythag. Hope that's helped. Time for tea.